Swaminiti Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadini Paschata Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Nice to see you, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadashi.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Happy Ekadashi to you. Dandavat Pranam, your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we are going to begin today's session with Mangalacharan. You can all join. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Samini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesho Sunnavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpa Taruvescha Kripa Sindhupayevacha Patitanam Pavonebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namo He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Bhakta Vihina Aparadha Lakshe Shipta Shakama Ditarangamate Kripa Maitam Saranam Prapanna Brinde Namaste Charanar Bindam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori Krishna Bashati Boli Paramaya Dare Boli Krishna Bashati Boli Paramaya Dare Boli. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are going to discuss on Ekadashi instead of Bhagavad Gita. Just once in a while to have a refresh. Why do we do things that is favorable or measurable or makes us easily achievable when we follow the rules regulation? Are we follower of rituals, or we are actually fully aware of the things we do, why we do, and who authorized, and what will be the result? So it's good to refresh. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Madhava titi bhakti janani jatane palana kari. We need bhakti. And bhakti take birth from her mother. And mother name is Ekadashi Devi. So it's very important. Bhakti janani, Madhava titi bhakti janani jatane palana kari. If I can sincerely, seriously just observe it. Now, something I found very interesting, that hearing about Ekadashi's glory is 50% benefit and 50% by observing it and following it. I said, wow. So hearing is very important on this Ekadashi day. In Hari Bhakti Vilas 12.100, there's a famous quote, the Uddama Parva of Mahabharata, that Sanatana Goswami Pad writes. Astaitani abrita grinani apo moolam phalam payo havir brahmana kamma cha guru bachano shodam. This is very important, that water, fruits, roots, milk, ghee, the advice of a brahmana, the instruction of your guru, and the medicine, this thing does not break the vow of fasting. So if your guru say, take some food and go preach, that is valid. Are you following Ekadashi? Yes, but you are eating. Because my Guru Maharaj says, I need to go out and preach and do this service. So it's very interesting how we Gaudiya follow compared to all other groups that follow Ekadashi. Some are very strict, some are over strict, I would say. They do nirjala and whole night stay up. These are all good. Nothing wrong. It's all good. But we follow a tradition, ISKCON, where we give importance to Srila Prabhupada's own opinion on Ekadashi. So I'm going to discuss a little bit also what Srila Prabhupada wants us to do. Because according to that verse, what Shastra says is one thing. What Guru say is another thing. Because Guru is more relevant to our personal success in bhakti, to please Krishna and come back to our original as a servant of Krishna. So following Prabhupada is more important than scriptures. So let's discuss few minutes and then we'll go back to discussion on Ekadashi. I'll give you a beautiful pastimes that I heard from Atmatattva Prabhu. One Ekadashi during the Kumbh Mela in Allahabad, Prabhupada was sitting back with his eyes closed, his legs stretched under his desk, talking about Ekadashi. So Prabhupada closed, he is also talking about Ekadashi in Kumbh Mela. And Prabhupada says, lotus pod fried in ghee are very good on Ekadashi. I know some of you probably thinking Prabhupada will talk about the rules regulation, but he's talking about lotus pods. So those who are from India, maybe in village, you may know. There are some lotus pods that it's like a popcorn, but it's not a grain. But Prabhupada is familiar, so he was saying that. And just 2 minutes later, it's mystical, 2 minutes later, a Ramanandi Brahmana with his 9 years old son arrived there. And the Brahmana, Ramanandi Brahmana, and his son, they both were wearing Ramanandi Tilak, that two Tilak, and in the middle there is a red mark, which is the Lakshmi Devi's followers indication. Just like we have two, Radha Krishna, and the leaf is Vrindavan. Where we are, this Tilaka Keshava is a Radha Krishna in Vrindavan, Brajadham. So two Ramanandi, the father and the son came, and they paid their obeisances, and the father put a cloth bag from his shoulder on Prabhupada's desk, and Prabhupada put his hand in it and said, just see, we talked about this lotus pod 1 minute before, and this gentleman, this devotee just came. He was not his disciple, he was outsider. And it was lotus pod, fried in ghee. And it was Ekadashi day, and Prabhupada talking about Ekadashi, and he's talking about lotus pod, and this man just walked after 2 minutes. And he looked at Ramanandi and said, how are you? This man happened to be the priest of a Bengali family in Firozabad in UP, Uttar Pradesh, where Prabhupada used to stay. And he came all the way to Vrindavan to see on Ekadashi day. So even though this person was Ramanandi, he did the Gaur-Nitai deity worship because of Prabhupada's influence in his family, for his family. So Prabhupada ate some of the pots and distributed the rest and said to the Ramanandi, you have not taken bath in the confluence, Sangam. Did you take bath in Prayag, Kumbh Mela place? And that Ramanandi said, Swamiji, I have come to take bath in the Sangam. And he put a plate under Prabhupada's lotus feet. And he said, I want to bathe your lotus feet. That is more powerful than Ganges and Jamuna. Because you purifying the heart of a unbelievable mlacha and anything, they beef eater and all this. It is not possible. Any tirtha can do what you are doing. So then Prabhupada allowed him. Generally, Prabhupada don't even touch his feet. And Prabhupada looked at him, smiling. During that time, December 1976, it was rare to get Prabhupada's Charnamrita, you know. And even Atma Tattva Prabhu, who narrated this story, he said, all of us desired it. But Ramanandi spring right in front of Prabhupada, after washing, he took the water and drinking and sprinkling on his head, right in front of Prabhupada. So smart man. I learned from that. He said to Prabhupada, your feet are the actual Sangam. What will I get in bathing that Sangam in Prayag? Your feet will purify even Ganges. So I brought the Ganga here. I will mix some of your Charnamrita in the Ganges when I go there. And Ganga Devi will be happy. That was very mystical. According to Shastra, he is 100% right. Prabhupada, out of affection, he did. Otherwise, he never allowed anybody to have a Charanamrita like that. So when we read that sloka today, that following Ekadashi, 8 number of things you can, in other words, 8 does not break your Ekadashi. Rather, if you need it, you can take it. And one of them were Guru's instruction. Guru's instruction. So this is very important. Now, on following Ekadashi, what are the results? I'm going to talk a little bit more and then we'll have a more question answer if we have time. Let's see. It is very interesting that if you think of Krishna more today and chant his name, that is called staying awake. Staying awake doesn't mean like not to go to sleep. So it says here that we have to stay awake means be aware of Krishna's presence. Be aware of Krishna does not mean like a one blue boy, you thinking everywhere. But you have to connect it. We need to see Krishna philosophically first. Philosophically. How? Okay. Who, even if I don't eat and fast, the thought should be, who sustain my lifespan? So 7th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. I am the lifespan for every soul. We should think like that. Why should we be afraid of death? It is Krishna. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. If Krishna does not permit, Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe ke. Then who can kill? And if Krishna wants to kill, who can say? So we should always depend on Krishna. That is what calls stay up. Of course, literally we also thought before just stay up whole night, then you will go back home. Not exactly like this. I hope everybody hear me very clearly. Physical activity itself without conscious choice, consciousness in it, will not liberate. Our consciousness has to be absorbed in the Ekadashi, which liberates us, not just physical activity itself. Now, I'll give you a little esoteric. Maybe you never heard it. Maybe you heard it. I don't know. This is Srimati Radharani in Ekadashi Mahatma. Our Acharya gives a beautiful verse. Sri Krishna Isha Prasadartham Kurute Ekadashi Bratam Tena Vasya Hari Sakshat Bhavishyati na Samsaya. Beautiful verse. Srimati Radharani said, to attain Lord Krishna's mercy, you should follow the vow of fasting on Ekadashi. Hare Baba. Radharani is saying this. We must do. In that way, Srimati Radharani says, you will make Lord Krishna into your grantor of love, of Godhead. Of this, there is no doubt. Chaitanya Charitamrita Mahaprabhu also said this. Sei prema hoite hai nija bhakta bas. Sei prema hoite pai seva sukharas. These are very powerful sloka. In Bengali, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Sei prema hoite hai nija bhakta bas. Sei prema hoite pai seva sukharas. Krishna is watching us, how we deal how we observe this Ekadashi. He is looking our attitude, intention more than our action. It is very important. Padma Puran says, Prabuddhascha Mahatmana Papagnam Punna Vardhanam Muktidam Krita Buddhiman Srinutam Muni Sattama. Oh Narada, just by fasting this day and thinking of me, one will stop entering mother's womb forever. Wow, that's very powerful. Ekadashi is more powerful than 100,000 Ashwamed Jagna, 100,000 Rajasuya Jagna. Now, some of you may wonder, what is that means? If you do 100 Ashwamed Jagna, you become next Indra, or you are eligible. Why you should not say you can become, but you are eligible to become. Krishna has to sanction it. It is not by election, it is by selection. Hopefully you all know. Rajasuya Jagna means you can be the Lord, King of this planet. So, following Ekadashi also eradicate. This verse says, Papa Agnam Punnam Vardhanam. Ekadashi eradicates all kinds of sin and guarantee you, give merit, ultimately liberation. Three things are compulsory today. You must worship the Lord Vishnu. Even if you are a demigod worshipper, do worship Vishnu if you want to get the result. Of course, none of you are, but I still have to say it. Must worship Tulasi Devi. This is beautiful. Look at her, touch her, offer some water to her. We just did this morning. Every day morning we do. But I was counting this when I was reading that. I said, wow, this is beautiful. This is what we do. And it's automatically like we're fortunate by Prabhupada's mercy. If you do this, you will never come on the lap of Maya eternally. Eternally, not only this life, eternally. Three things, three good results will come. Materially also, because you need the body to be fit to do service. One is, it's called perception. We develop a good perception to observe things, reflect, contemplate when we do this kind of austerity like Ekadashi. So that's one. Dhi Agni means the memory. Our memory becomes more sharp and skillful. Jataragni means by eating less today, especially, you actually develop strong digestive power. So three kinds of fire you get. One is to digest food. One is to increase the memory, to remember slokas or some Krishna Lila. And other is your perception. How do you ascertain a certain angle of vision on scripture and other. So these are very powerful. Ekadashi is so powerful. Ekadashi Devi is also called Hari Bashar. Hari Bashar means this day Lord Hari is there. Are you with him? Ask yourself. He's there. Actually, this day, whole day he's there. Well, he's everywhere, no? Yes, he's everywhere, but he's not available everywhere unless you have bhakti. But today, Ekadashi day, he is available. And that song is very nice. Suddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamula Madhavati Thi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kari Krishna Bhashati. See, Krishna Bhashati. Krishna reside on this day. Right now, Krishna is listening. We are talking about Ekadashi. Anything we do, especially don't do something non-devotional. Hare Krishna. Krishna Bhashati Bhashati Bali Ja Parama Anande Bori. This is beautiful. Today is the day we should really pay very close attention. Now, Krishna also gives some warning. Jasasra Vidhi Utsrijya Bhartate Kamakarata 16.23 Bhagavad Gita. Na siddhim abapnati, na sukam na paramgati. If you do not follow this Ekadashi day, you will not be successful in spiritual life. Whoa, that's scary. That's scary. If we don't follow Ekadashi, we will not be successful in Ekadashi. Now, Prabhu's and Mother, in case somebody does mistake, I forgot or something, then you can apologize and ask and keep on continue doing it. Don't stop. Even Prabhupada's life, one day he actually mistake happened also. Bhakti Charan Maharaj. Now, I'll give you a little story about Garga Samhita, where Srimati Radharani blessed to the newcomer in Vrindavan, the new gopis who comes. You know, we all going to go there in Vrindavan, some life, hopefully end of this life. So in Garga Samhita, Srimati Radharani saw these millions of gopi girls took birth and they are coming in a full speed. Have you seen anybody ever saw 1 million girls has a one idea? They want to marry the same boy. Is it possible materially? I never heard it. Even two girls will fight for one boy. They will probably each other bad name. But here, when you think of beautiful Vaishnava view to see that 1 million girl planning to marry Nanda Maharaj's son. And they, how old are they? 3, 4, 5 years. Have you seen 3, 4, 5 years old girl thinking of getting married to some boy? No. So this is 100% pure transcendental view. That those girls, they did 60,000 years meditation in Treta Yuga for Lord Ram. And Lord Ram said, I'm sorry, I can't accept you. You can come to in my Krishna Lila. So they came there. Golden Sita came, Nagakanna came, so many groups. They all came there. So they are called Sadhan Siddha. Dear devotees, we are also looking for that. We want to be that Sadhan Siddha one day in Vrindavan. And you will meet Radharani. So Radharani came. Radharani says, what you all heard about me, how can I benefit you? So they ask, how can we please Krishna? And it is service that we have taken birth in this gopi girl body in Vrindavan. In our Sakhi Sarup. How can we attain a service? How can we please him to Nanda Maharaj's son? How can we become qualified and eligible to serve him? Srimati Radharani saying, you should observe Ekadashi. That was a very powerful word. You should observe Ekadashi. Ekadashi in order to please Sri Krishna. I hope you all remember. We are doing Ekadashi. Why? To please Krishna. Not just fasting. Of course, that is there, but that's not our focus. Focus is to please Krishna. Srimati Radharani says, if you do Ekadashi, you please Krishna. Then they asked Srimati Radharani, please tell us the names of all the Ekadashis. We are living here. We took birth in Vrindavan. And this is called Aprakat Leela. They heard some. Not prakat, not visible. Means Krishna's unmanifest pastimes are going on everywhere in Vrindavan. But not everybody can see. Unseen by our impure eyes. But they are going on. People today are also observing Ekadashi in Brajamandal. Prakat Leela, Krishna was there. When Krishna was there, you all know Nanda Maharaj, 5,000 years back, Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, they were doing Ekadashi. And to do the Ekadashi, Nanda Maharaj went in this Bhomo Vrindavan. That pastime Prabhupada narrate this in Krishna book very nicely. So then all the gopis, when they converse with Srimati Radharani, then Radharani was very nice, very merciful. Radharani said, my dear gopis, you should observe Ekadashi now and I'll give you another secret. She already gave that if you follow Ekadashi, you will please Krishna and you can be with Krishna. Can you imagine Radharani is giving mercy like that? We should take it seriously. And then she said, for your benefit, I'll tell you another name, another secret. Remember those 26 names of Ekadashi. Repeat after me. Because you are asking me how to please Krishna, I'll give you a special blessing. If you gopis chant the names of 26 Ekadashis, you will get the Sukriti fall. The pious result of following the Dadashi, the entire year. Once a year, Dadashi Brata. Dadashi Brata means you don't eat anything except fruits once a day after sunset. You stay up whole night, exactly like Ekadashi. So Radharani is giving that benediction boon, blessing to these Sadhan Siddha gopis. It is being recorded by Gargacharya in Garga Samhita very nicely. So that means anyone else who follows the Garga Samhita has faith, has free from offenses, he desires such result. Simply by repeating or chanting the names, he or she will get this wonderful result of all purity of correctly following the whole year of Ekadashi. So dear Prabhus and mothers, fold your hand wherever you are, if you can. I'm not saying that give up everything, doing whatever you're doing, but if you can, at least you are hearing, fold your hand and repeat after me. You can unmute, mute as you like, doesn't matter. First, Utpanna Kartik Krishna Paksha Ekadashi.
Utpanna
Kartik Krishna Paksha.
Kartik Krishna Ekadashi.
Second, Mokshoda Agrayan Shukla Ekadashi.
Mokshaya Agradasya
No, Agrayan
Agraya
Shukla Ekadashi.
Shukla Ekadashi.
Third, Shafala Agrayan Krishna Ekadashi.
Shafala
Agrayan
Krishna Ekadashi.
Very good. Fourth, Putrada Pausha Shukla Ekadashi. Putrada
Putra
Shukla Ekadashi.
Shukla Ekadashi.
5. Shattila Pausha Krishna Ekadashi.
Shattila Pausha
Pausha.
Krishna Ekadashi.
6. Jaya Bhaimi Maga Shukla Ekadashi. Jaya
Jaya
Bhaimi
Haya
Maga
Haya
Shukla
Shukla Ekadashi.
7. Bijaya Magha Krishna Ekadashi.
Vijaya Magha Shukla Ekadashi.
8. Amlaki Falguna Shukla Ekadashi. Amlaki Falguna Shukla.
Shukla Ekadashi.
9. Papa Mochani Falguna Krishna Paksha Ekadashi. Papa Mochani
Shini
Falguna
Guna
Krishna.
Krishna Ekadashi.
10. Kamada Chaitra Shukla Paksha Ekadashi. Kamada
Shukla
Chaitra Shukla
Krishna
Paksha.
Shukla Paksha Ekadashi.
Prabhuji, can you repeat this for me?
Kamada Chaitra Shukla Paksha Ekadashi. This is Srimati Radharani is repeating. I'm just a media in between. Radharani is uttering this to the gopis. We are witnessing, we are participating. Think like that. Number 11. 10. Kamada, no, we did that. Let's do one more time. 10. Kamada Chaitra Shukla Ekadashi.
Kamada
Chaitra
Shukla Ekadashi.
11. Baruthini Chaitra Krishna Paksha Ekadashi. Baruthini
Chaitra Shukla
Chaitra Krishna Paksha.
Krishna Ekadashi.
Very good. 12. Mohini Vaishakhi Shukla Ekadashi. Mohini Vaishakhi Shukla Ekadashi. Very good. 13. Apara Vaishakhi Krishna Paksha Ekadashi. Apara Vaishakhi
Krishna
Paksha.
Shukla Paksha Ekadashi.
No. Krishna Paksha Ekadashi. Don't
Krishna Paksha. Krishna Paksha.
try your best. I'm sure Radharani will forgive us. Pandava Nirjala Jaista Shukla Paksha Ekadashi. Pandava Nirjala Jaista
Krishna
Shukla.
Shukla Ekadashi.
Not Krishna. Somebody said Krishna. Shukla Ekadashi. Yogini Jaista Krishna Paksha Ekadashi. Yogini Jaista Krishna Paksha
Krishna
Ekadashi.
Paksha Ekadashi.
Shayan Ashara Shukla Paksha Ekadashi. Shayana Ashara
Ashara
Shukla Paksha.
Paksha Ekadashi.
Kamini Ashara Krishna Paksha Ekadashi.
Kamini
Kamini Ashara
Krishna
Krishna Paksha
Paksha Ekadashi.
Number 18. Pavitra Rupini Shravana Shukla Paksha Ekadashi. Pavitra Rupini Shravana Shukla Paksha. 19. Aja Annada Shravana Krishna Paksha Ekadashi. Aja Annada Shravana Krishna Paksha Ekadashi. Padma Parsha Bhamana Dwadashi Bhadra Shukla Ekadashi. Okay, it's a long, but let's do it again. Padma Parsha Bhamana Dwadashi
Bhamana Dwadashi
Bhadra Shukla
Bhadra Shukla.
21. Indira Bhadra Krishna Paksha Ekadashi.
Indira
Bhadra
Bhadra Krishna Ekadashi.
22. Pashana Kusha Ashini Shukla Ekadashi.
Pashana
Pashana
Shukla
Ashini Shukla Ekadashi.
Ekadashi.
23rd. Rama Ashini Krishna Paksha Ekadashi.
Rama Ashini Shukla Paksha Ekadashi.
Next three does not have any particular, it is only comes in an extra month. This. So 24. Prabhodini Ekadashi.
Prabhodini
25. Padmini Ekadashi.
Ekadashi.
26. Parama Ekadashi.
Parama Ekadashi.
Very nice. I hope Srimati Radharani heard our uttering, repeating, because this is a very simple, you may think, but it is says in Garga Samhita that Radharani spoke this and Radharani said, anybody utter this on this Ekadashi day, they also will meet Krishna. Wow. She's giving guarantee. So Srimati Radharani says, anyone who chant the name of this 26 will attain the result of observing Ekadashi Brata for entire year. Now, Prabhu's and Mother, I have a little pause. I did not say don't follow Ekadashi whole year, just because you uttered this 26. That's her mercy. But you follow Ekadashi every Ekadashi. But she says you get the result of entire year. And that pleases Krishna. Wow, that's very powerful. That pleases Krishna. We should take advantage. Now I'm going to give a very short, brief explanation. I'm looking also the time. In case some of you face, like I faced with my son, my oldest son is very lovable, both are lovable. He just adapts. He does not inquire. But youngest son, he's doing his PhD, he inquire. What is why Ekadashi, like fasting on that day? What is the big deal about it? Can you explain? Otherwise, I don't feel enthusiastic to follow. I want to follow you, but I also have to satisfy my own intelligence and mind. I said, okay. I found in the study of DNA, this is Bhanu Maharaj actually did some research and he found in the study of DNA, they found in duplication of cell, small part called telomere. Telomere is a junk. DNA has no use according to this modern scientist. Scientists thought that God created so many things, maybe some are not useful. That's their view. But we know Krishna created this body, everything has a purpose. Some reason why. Krishna is not a whimsical God, he's a scientific. He's a very organized God. Later on, scientists actually found that telomere DNA, they discovered that junk cell, like, we have a brain cell, we have in the body, we have so many cells, and cells are changing after many months. The junk cell actually controlled by lifespan. They did some experiment and found that what causes the lifespan increase or reduce. So they found that that telomere DNA, oh my God, does more. It increases more when you do fasting. Can you believe that? They really came up. I wish they would broadcast the whole world to do the fasting on Ekadashi, but they can't do that. Just like a professor, Sandra Ray, she had a psychiatry student. She's a very genius professor. She's chanting now. just to let you know, because of our contact. But she said, Govind, everything about their people's problem with the psychology, psychiatrist idea, if they can adapt Bhagavad Gita, but they will never do it, because modern education, or at least the university, they don't want to be part of religion. They will teach religion, but they don't want to adapt religion. So, I mean, that's how it is. That's the fact she told me, because she's a professor on psychology. They found every 15 days, fascinating, 36 hours is the best for health for long, if you do fasting. And this is very funny that if you know anybody in this Zoom session, I literally ask you, if you know anybody who works in emergency, because you all are in America, if anybody works in emergency, don't say anything about Ekadashi, just ask them. You work in the emergency, what are the days you get the most headache and more patient? And I bet you, because I already did that, I bet you they will tell you during the lunar moon, people go crazy. So many patient and crazy patient, accident, this, that. You go to the ocean, Prabhu's and mother, you go to the ocean, you see during the full moon, the waves are big. Natural phenomenon. I'm not talking about only believing the scriptures. What percentage of the body, your body, has a water? You find out. I'm sure some of you know. I hope you know. If not, you learn. This 70% or more of your body actually constituted of water predominating. Fasting on the 11th day keeps you germless, less germ. Even scientifically, I'm not talking about spiritual, just scientifically, to have a better health, good health. Less eating on Ekadashi is the best. Complete fasting, of course, better, but try your best. You know that story, I'm not going to give elaborate, but in a short, when Jaimini Rishi asked Vyasdev, my dear Gurudev, please answer. Lord Krishna created this Papa Purusha to do the correction of misdeed maker, like a jail, is built to do correction. Government build the prison, but government never advertise, hey, come to the prison. Now you may say, like, who is telling government to build the prison? Because they know every community, every city, some people will break the law and they have to be corrected and they have to be put away from the public. So government build the prison, not that people are asking for the prison. Government built. Even million years back, you can see the history. The king, they used to have a prison, jail. So Jaimini Rishi asked that Lord Krishna, Vyasdev answer, Lord Krishna created a Papa Purusha, a person whose name is Mr. Papa Purusha. I don't know if it's Mr. or whatever. Papa Purusha. Okay, we can say Mr. Papa Purusha. Why? To do the correction of misdeed maker. His head was made of Brahmahatta. Do you know Brahmahatta? Brahmahatta means if you are a Brahmana and you commit suicide, or you kill a Brahmana or kill a devotee, that's called Brahmahatta. Brahmahatta is not killing anybody. When you kill somebody who knows Brahman. So just imagine that person, Mr. Papa Purusha, his head made of Brahmahatta. His intestine made of abortion, where Putana, who tried to kill Krishna, she learned this. This is the origin of abortion, where it comes. Modern science, yes, they're duplicating all this, but they don't know. But that's where it's coming, this idea. After creation, Lord Vishnu visited Dharmaraj, the Jamaraj, the superintendent of judgment. Not hell also, hell is the punishment place, but he is actually judge. He's judge for us also. Don't think we are free. We have to be very careful. Jamaraj were extremely loud cry, as if like slaughterhouse. I don't know if anybody ever went to slaughterhouse. I'm not asking you to go to see it. It's like a painful area. They don't even put in Googles. They're scared to put it because people will give up eating meat. Slaughterhouse is so, that's why, anyway, there's a whole story of Peter group, why they sneakily take those photos and put it out, and people becoming vegetarian among the Christian, the one group of Christian called Peter. So Jamaraj replied, you created Papa Purusha who reward them according to their sinful activities, and your result is suffering. They are all suffering, Prabhu. I don't know what to do. Lord Vishnu, hearing this, immediately asked, how can we free them? Because he's a loving father. He sent us all for correction, but he doesn't like to hear that we are being punished and punished and punished. So Lord Vishnu immediately asked, how can we free them? Jamaraj replied, I don't know. As soon, Prabhu's and mother, remember this, as soon Vishnu's compassionate heart melted for us, because I'm also sinful man. I don't know how many million life I was in this world doing nonsense, sinful activity. This is by good fortune, Prabhupada's mercy, that I came to Krishna Consciousness. You all came. You all are already advanced. So the moment Lord was thinking, this is not good. The soul should not suffer too much. They should correct, but not suffer like that. A beautiful personality appeared from the heart of the Lord. And she was smiling. She just appeared from his heart. There is a three story actually, but I'm just giving one story, pastime. So she respected, immediately bow down to the Lord Lotus feet. Then she looked at all the sinful people screaming and crying in the hell. She declared, on this day, anybody do puja to Lord Vishnu? I hope you all did. If not, do offer some tulasi to the deity Krishna right now, today. It is necessary. She said, on this day, anybody offer tulasi to the Lord's lotus feet, I promise will be released from all the sins. Just by hearing this, all of a sudden, billion people suffering finish. They're all free. They all return back to normalcy. Of course, they have to get a new body and go to another, wherever they need to go. Hearing all this, everybody was so happy. Lord asked, who are you? Where do you come from? You did such a great thing I wanted. She folded her hand, my Lord, I live in your heart. I came from your heart. Whenever you feel compassion, I just come outside. I'm your maid servant. Lord was so happy that she fulfilled my desire. I wanted to relieve all these people suffering. So Lord was so happy with her. He asked, ask me something. Ask me a boon I want to give you. She replied, please grant me on this day, anybody chant your name will be free from all sin and proceed towards your eternal abode. Dear devotees, Prabhu's and Mother, raise your hand and just chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You can unmute, mute as you like. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
But there was a problem. Everything went good, except one person has a problem. This Brahmahatta had big guy. He said, my Lord, I am Papa Purusha. Where am I going to go now? Everybody is free. Nobody is going to create the sin. I have no job. Lord replied, don't worry, Papa Purusha. On the 11th day, you hide yourself on the grain and beans. Now you all know why we don't eat grain and beans. Because that sinful personality enters on this day. Did I do mistake in my life in Bhakti path? Yes, I did. Actually, by mistake, I ate one time grain. I prayed to the Lord. My Lord, I had no idea. I forgot today was Ekadashi. Please, please. I announced even today is Ekadashi, but I forgot. My Lord, please forgive me. So you can do that. And I found a verse. He said, if you repent, Lord will forgive you. There's also a recommendation. Prabhupada said, next day you do the Ekadashi then, if you break it. And he did it. Srila Prabhupada broke also once in his life. And Bhakti Charu Maharaj remembered that. And Prabhupada said, let's do Ekadashi tomorrow. And they did. So it can happen. It can happen. Now, another angle to look at it. Subtle discrimination. When you actually do fasting, it is the best thing you can do for your health. In Latino culture, one professor I was talking, he is from Peru. He says, now from your explanation, last 1 hour discussion, I see that fasting is so important. Even though I'm a Catholic, I never follow these things. But I think I'm going to test it for 3 months because some of my clients are lunatic. You know, lunatic? Anybody heard that word? They're crazy. They don't know whatever they think, they keep on saying, as if like they don't have intelligence to, have a discriminating power. That's how the lunatic word came. That professor told me. Because their chemical secretion don't have a stop. Hey, stop now. No, it goes on and they just go crazy. That's how the lunatic word came. So it was very interesting. He of course retired and went back to his country. He was here in Gainesville. But he said it's very miracle that some of his clients, he told them, can you do fasting? It will be a very good thing for you. But some of them don't want to do because it's not government authorized, but he was suggesting. But some of them did. And he says 7 of 10 got completely cured of lunatic disease. He said, I'm going to do it, my friend, whole life. And I'm going to chant. When I go my country, I'm going to see the Hare Krishnas. Then I gave him address and everything. I hope he become a very advanced devotee. He was a very nice man. So our body has a 70% watery, where moon plays at the role in a dark moon and full moon, both time. Gama avishyacha bhutanam. We love taste of this world, vegetable taste, food taste. Where the taste come from? Look at Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, comes from the moon. It is necessary we follow Ekadashi voluntarily. Nobody need to tell you. For your own sake, for your own good health, for your own spiritual advancement. Now I'll give you a little caution. I also did some research on Ayurveda. Not today, but I remember a few weeks back. Every Ekadashi, I do something on Ekadashi. Complete fast, Ayurveda does not recommend. I'm not saying this is what Shastra says. Complete fast, Shastra says is good, if you can do it. Ayurveda says, don't do complete fast. Because digestive system is going, so to take a sip of warm water. I didn't say water, warm, not hot, warm water. Take a sip of warm water. Then acid will pour in your digestive place, will not be disturbing you. You will feel nauseous. But if you take little warm water once in a while during the day, just few sip of, it will dilute the acid in your intestine. It will not make you nauseous. And then it will flush it out. Water is not considered fasting. I also found that. And I'll give you the verse where it is. It's in Bhagavatam. I give you right now. Bhagavatam 9.4.39. If anybody has, you can look at it right now. Prabhupada also says, the bathing injunction is that when you take water, is not accepted as you broke it or not broke it, both. So it is okay. Now, I'm not promoting that you should drink only water. If you can do fasting, do it. But if you cannot, take a little sip of drinking water. It's all recommended. It's not anything wrong. Maharaj Ambarish's case, we see that he did that same thing. And is nothing wrong. Now, why no grain, no beans? I already told you that. That is a horrible thing scientifically also. Not because sin is there, but scientifically also I tell you something I found through these friends. I have a, what you call social, lot of research people. Arnie Miller is a neurologist, scientist. He helps me a lot. And he does also fasting on Ekadashi. He also chant. He's a Jewish professor, very nice man, good friend. Anything discovering, they always send me things. Drink as soon as you wake up every day. Little water is good. As soon as you wake up. Prabhu's and mother, try not to drink after meal. It's actually poison to your body. Especially to American culture. I'm not putting down anybody but American culture has a horrible diet. That's why sickness is a lot. That they take a lot of ice cold water when they eat. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu knows. That's why he's laughing. It is not good. Take some warm water. In Japanese culture, you will not see too many disease so much. Because in their meal, they take a hot tea. Hot warm water or tea is good. Not ice cold water. It gives you disturbance in your mind. While food is digesting, while eating with water extinguishes the fire when you put ice water. It's not good in that sense. It's very scientific. Stomach is stale because virus, bacteria attack, then disease comes. Jataragni, there is a fire. You may not see it, but you can you can feel it in your stomach, how it is grinding. You don't see it. You're not doing it. Krishna is doing it through the demigods. Stomach is stale causes virus, bacteria attack, then disease. Jataragni is for digestion, not extinguisher. Is that clear, everybody? Jataragni, the fire in your intestine, it is for digesting food, not for extinguishing the system. That's why a lot of unnecessary disturbance in the mind appears, and the fat, all these things. So why no grain, no beans on this day? Because passion, grain, seen, personified, enters on that day. Astronomically, we see maximum pull of the moon is between Dashami and Dadoshi, 10th day and 12th day, in between, which is Ekadashi. Grains and beans, do you know, has a power to retain the maximum water? Look at in your own house. You have grains and beans, you put some water, enough, not so much, you see next day, they're gone. It's sucked by the grain. They literally absorb water so much. 11th day, in magnetic field, north and south. I don't know how many of you follow this. I don't, but I'm aware when I sleep. If you are in a wrong way, south is a hell where existing. Then you'll feel like a nightmare, dream, all this. Change your bed. Sleep on the other side. This is not Krishna consciousness, but it is part of the Vedas. Little things. So I'm not going to go too much details on this. Ekadashi, as a devotee, I'm trying to scare you. I hope you get scared, then I'll be happy. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciple, Ram Goti Prabhu. I met his son. He was one of the examples that we saw that he went to hell. Disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada's godbrother. He went to hell because he did not follow Ekadashi before he died for 12 years. He just went, eat fish and do everything and forget about it. He did not give bhakti importance. He died. Of course, I don't know any one of you know that story. I'll just end with that. His oldest son, he was working in Guwahati. Guwahati is a capital of Assam, a state in India. Where this Ramgoti Prabhu was living, 12 hours from there to Guwahati by train. You have to go. So, sorry, train, bus and all this route. So then when he passed away, the villager came to cremate his body, but they said, well, his eldest son is still living. He's in Guwahati. He should be informed. He should come and cremate, according to Hindu culture. The eldest son supposed to put the fire on the father's mouth side, head side first, and then go to the feet side, if you know what I'm talking about. So then what he did, they sent somebody to Guwahati and bring back. It took 24 hours. And he was in that, kind of like a bed made of wood, and they put him there, and he was there till next day. Finally, his son came. But while his son is coming, he remembers childhood life. My father, he was a devotee of Hare Krishna people. What happened to him? He gave up. Why did he give up? I'm scared. And then even in the train journey, he was crying. So, Father, I wish you would come back to spiritual life. You should not die like this. Eat, sleep, or do whatever it is. Because he's a grown-up man, he's having job, and he remembers his childhood life, how father was a nice devotee. Now, some of you may think like, why is telling us? Because in case if you see somebody or in your life, you slacken, be careful. I'm serious. Be careful. You will pay for it if you're not careful. When he came finally to the funeral place, he burst out crying. No, you cannot leave us, Father. Your death is not good. You're going to suffer. And he was crying, and the villager says, it's all right. Everybody dies. It's okay. You can do. No, I know my father. I remember when I was a kid, little boy, he used to tell me, Krishna is God. We should chant. We should never eat meat. I remember all this. Now I remember everything about my childhood life with my father. Why did he give up? He should not die like this. He's going to suffer. All of a sudden, Prabhu's mother, it is documented, recorded. He just came out from this dead body of 4 hours. And he told his son, I'm not going home. Take me to Guwahati. There is a Gaudiya Math, my Guru Maharaj's. I want to go there. And he lived there for 10 years. Every day he would cry and write, and cry and write and chant. And he begged and begged forgiveness to his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just narrating the reality, which is beyond us. Ekadashi is a wonderful thing. I hope you take few things away. Today we discussed Radharani herself said to the gopis, you all do Ekadashi, you will meet Krishna, you will get Krishna. And then she said, anybody hears and do this, they will get Krishna and go back Vaikuntha. That's one takeaway from me, from my own discussion. If you feel slackening, please remember that fearful story of wonderful story that I narrated about Srila Prabhupada's god brother. It is important. We should think those. Okay. Anyone has, I know we went way over the time, but it's all right. Just anybody has any takeaway or anything about Ekadashi? Or if you have any discussion for a few minutes, we can do that.
I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mother.
You said 3 things to do on Ekadashi. You said worship of Vishnu and then worship Tulsi Devi. I didn't hear the 3rd thing. Maybe I missed it.
Anybody remembers? Chanting Hare Krishna.
Oh, okay.
These 3 things.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Anyone else?
So I have
Hare
one
Krishna,
question.
Hare Krishna Uttamananda Prabhu.
Dhanut Prabhu. There was a Prabhu on the song Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. The 2nd paragraph, Paramo Adore Bori. What is the meaning of Bori?
Accepting.
I don't understand.
I'm gladly accepting. Inviting and accepting.
Oh, okay.
Baran kara. Baran dasha.
Bori, okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thakur Murari Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances as God is Srila Prabhupada and the assembled devotees. So thanks for the presentation as usual and for reminding us of the benefits of Ekadashi. Yes, and also and Prabhu as I think Narendra Prabhu, he had made some presentation on the scientific value of Ekadashi. So not only devotees, but he made a presentation and as to what is necessary and essential for those who are non-vegetarians. This is also beneficial for them to observe fasting.
Yes. It's for all the human beings. For the animals,
Yes.
it's not required
Yeah.
because they don't have a developed intelligence. Thank you, Thakur Murari Prabhu. Mother Krishna Manju Devi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have one question about that's you told that if you um, make a mistake that's have grain or something, you made a mistake in Ekadashi. So what is the remedy for that? Next day you have to Dadashi, you have to complete that with the fasting.
You can do fasting next day. Dadoshi
So
is
how
not
do you do the
Dadoshi
paran?
is not applicable when you don't follow Ekadashi. Dadoshi is the result of the Ekadashi. So
So
just do
Ekadashi.
you do the Dadoshi day and the next day you break it. Krishna will understand. Krishna is a person.
So Ekadashi also you have to complete it, right? You have to finish that one and then Dadashi and then Trayadashi you are baking the paran.
No. Very simple. If I break Ekadashi, that means I'm not doing Ekadashi. What is Dadoshi got to do here? If I don't drive, where I'm going is not even an issue right now. If I'm not driving, then it's not a question like, where am I now? You are not on Dadoshi. You're not following
No,
Ekadashi. You're not on Dadoshi.
by
Yes,
mistakenly you
yes, I
told us
understand.
if you
But
take that. Yeah.
try to understand my logic. Dadoshi means when you follow Ekadashi, then next day what are you supposed to do? But if I did not follow Ekadashi, so next day is not relevant here.
Okay.
Is that make
So
sense?
that means you just keep that that Ekadashi and then following Ekadashi you are continuing.
Yeah. That's what Prabhupada did, Bhakti Charamara says, and we should follow that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, if nobody else, then we are looking forward to see you all next Wednesday. Yes, Mother Haripriya Devi Dasi.
Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev. Prabhuji, can you put those Ekadashi name? I wrote it down, but some of them I missed. Can you put that in the group for me, please?
I'll do it, but I have another class, so I have to go there maybe later or tomorrow.
Okay. And Prabhuji, whoever doesn't do this, doesn't do any Ekadashi, if they at least chant this name, can they get benefit?
Holy name always has a benefit, but what benefit we are looking for, we may not get it if we don't follow.
Okay.
There is
Thank
always
you.
benefit. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, dear Prabhus and mothers, let us chant Hare Krishna and end the class here. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram,
Srila
Hare
Prabhupada
Hare.
ki jai.
की जय
Kripa Sindhu
रूपेश
Chapatikana
कृपा
Prabhu
सिंधु
Krishna
जगत
Guru Jai.
पाद
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.